No. No. Hi, laying here with my animals, in particular my common-bodied goldfish, Bob. Bob is 6 years old, and he was surrendered to me from a family that won him in Kentucky at the Kentucky State Fair. And today, I gotta tell you, this care sheet would not have kept Bob alive. Sorry, Bob. So, yes, correcting and roasting Petco's Goldfish and Koi care sheet. And you all know the very first thing that Bob and I are gonna say is that Goldfish and Koi should not be combined on one care sheet. They have different care. Goldfish and Koi are not the same, and they both deserve a full care sheet, not just. And you know, it's really not fair because I know a lot of people who want to give really good care to their goldfish. So we are going to correct this together. Okay, I hope filming it this way works okay. I am basically straddling my ring light tripod because I want to be able to write on this together and kind of read it at the same time. So we will see how this goes. This is the very front of the Goldfish and Koi sheet, and it says, "These were the first fish species successfully bred in captivity on a large scale. Goldfish and koi can grow quite large, and their beauty is impressive." That is true. True, true, true story. Despite the popular belief that goldfish do not, despite popular belief, goldfish do not grow to the size of their tank. That is great too. Thank you, Petco. That's wonderful. It's wonderful to include some information like that right on the front, because that is one of the biggest myths that I see still spread today. And yeah, it's just not true. It's also not true that we're getting ahead of ourselves. Facts. Oops. Sorry, friends. Facts. The average adult size, 5 inches to 3 feet long, depending on the species. And so that's not inaccurate, but that is, again, 5 inches, 3 feet. That's because koi can get to be 3 feet. Goldfish typically max out around 2 feet tops, although there have been reports of them getting larger. It's much more likely for your common-bodied goldfish here to grow to be about, let's say, 7 to 18 inches. Now, again, there's been a couple of outliers on that, but that is a much more reasonable expectation for a common-bodied goldfish than 3 feet. Because again, why? Why are koi and goldfish on the same care sheet? They both deserve their own care sheet. Okay, I am very sorry if this gets a little bit Blair Witch editing. I just could not get this to work right when I was using the tripod, and I did not like the way my voice sounded in that last little part. Well, I was trying to do it all cute and mark this up for you as we went, but I am just not good enough at reading and marking and doing all that at the same time. So we're just gonna watch the goldfish while I finish correcting this sheet, and then I will go ahead and put pictures of it up in the corner for you all so that you can see what I'm talking about. That makes more sense. Right, Bob? Right. Diet, omnivore. That's true. Goldfish are omnivores, and they are, they're scavengers. Their immune system is based on being their immune system. Their dietary system is based on being scavengers. So they really can have quite a wide variety of food. Bloodworms, brine shrimp, algae wafers, soaked flake food, soaked pellets. Tropical fish food is fine for them sometimes. Really, goldfish can eat a lot of different things. And then it says water temperature. For koi, 36 to 90 degrees, and for goldfish, 65 to 75. So that is not accurate at all. Really, goldfish are fine basically in the general 60 to 80 range, and can even survive lower and higher temperatures than that. However, you really don't want to, especially in an aquarium. Ponds are different. Ponds are definitely different. But in an aquarium, you don't really want to freeze your fish out. And so I do tend to keep a heater on my goldfish tanks, keeping it around 72 for these guys and 75 for my fancy goldfish. And for me, that is more about providing a stability for their digestive system than it is because they need things to be exactly a certain temperature. But, when water is warm, goldfish go through oxygen faster. They need to eat more. You need to clean the water more. So I would say 60 to 80, with in the low to mid 70s being what is actually a good temperature for goldfish indoors. Ponds can be different. A well-balanced diet consists of flakes, pellets, frozen or freeze-dried foods. Yeah, we've already talked about that. Goldfish and koi need more carbohydrates than other freshwater fish. Feed them foods particularly formatted for goldfish and koi. So what they are talking about there is that goldfish don't really have a stomach. Goldfish have a very, 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 very long digestive tract that functions as their stomach, but they do not have a part of their body that stores nutrients on them the way a stomach does for people and some other fish. Goldfish digest stuff very quickly and it goes straight through their system. However, I do not find that that means they need more carbohydrates. I find that that means they need to be fed more often when they're younger and when their tank is not fully mature. So a fully mature tank has plants and algae and microorganisms living on the filter and on the sides of the tanks that the goldfish can eat consistently. So they can just kind of be munching all day until that ecosystem has developed. They do need to have some things to munch on. So yeah, and as far as them needing more carbohydrates, I don't know if that's expressly true. Goldfish can do fine on lower protein diets than a lot of other fish. However, it really, as long as you're feeding them a well-balanced diet, I don't find that to be true. I don't find carbohydrates to be the particular thing that needs to be focused on in a goldfish's diet. I hope you can all see the goldfish and hear me okay now. I am going to finish reading this. We left off finishing up their diet, and again, it's more fiber. It's more that goldfish need things to munch on because they have long digestive tracts instead of stomachs than it is that they need more carbohydrates. The next part of this pamphlet says feeding. Things to remember when feeding your goldfish or koi. Feed small amounts 1 to 2 times a day, only as much as they can consume in 1 to 2 minutes. Oh my goodness, guys, don't give your goldfish 1 to 2 minutes of food. They will eat until it's gone. They don't need that much. If you're at a point where your tank isn't established, it doesn't have plants, filter, medium, filter medium isn't the word I'm looking for. Bacteria, if your tank isn't really established and aged, feeding your goldfish small amounts once or twice a day is a good idea. After that, you can ease up and really find the feeding schedule that works right for you and your fish. Because once it's established, they can eat on algae and stuff. But we already talked about that a lot. But no, don't put like flake foods or something in there and for the amount of them to eat in 1 to 2 minutes. I mean, unless you have a pond and you're feeding like 60 goldfish. That's insane. That's insane. You guys like how I like serial killer marked this up. Housing. Keep in an appropriate sized aquarium or pond. Goldfish or koi are not recommended for tropical aquariums. That is correct. I appreciate them saying that. I wish they would stress more that you're going to end up needing at the bare minimum a 40-gallon breeder, but they did say that, so good for them. Stable water quality and parameters are critical to the health of aquatic life. If you are unsure of your water quality, Petco provides free testing. And yes, and that is great. I actually recommend getting your own either a API master test kit or a for strips, I've used Tetra strips with pretty good luck. Nothing's 100%, but it gives you a good enough idea. And the Tetra strips too, but you can only use them in already established tanks because they don't have ammonia. They don't test for ammonia. And yes, if you really are having problems with your water you can't figure out, take it into a pet shop. Find a local pet shop you trust. I trust my Petco, honestly. This is their corporate information, and I don't trust it, but I trust my fish guy at Petco, to a degree at least. Characteristics. Create more waste than other fish of comparable size and require better filtration. Color pattern on multicolored goldfish and koi change throughout the lifetime. They will often lose black markings as they grow. Yep, we just talked about that with my Blackmore. Those are two characteristics for sure. I wish they had included some of the more positive characteristics, but that's fine. Habitat maintenance. Check filter, water temperature, and other equipment daily. Weekly water change. It says check water quality at least once a week. Oh, and then here's a big no, guys. This is a big no. A big no. Can you see that big no I wrote? No. Change 10 to 25 of the total volume of the water every 2 to 4 weeks as needed. Not with goldfish. Sorry. Since there's only 2 of them in here, I can maybe get away with like 10 days between water changes sometimes, but then with goldfish you pretty much always want to do at least a 50% water change. And the bacteria, the beneficial bacteria that gets on the side of your aquarium and gets in your substrate and in your filter, that is where the beneficial bacteria lives. So doing a big water change, as long as you're not doing it in such a way that it gives them temperature shock, or your fish aren't suffering from nitrate poisoning and they need to be like slowly changed, yeah, you want to do a 50% at least water change. Because they make a lot of waste. So much waste. Oh, and then the back of the care sheet is what you need to buy for them. And this video is getting really long, so I'm going to try to read through this really quick, okay? Shopping list for needed aquarium supplies. Appropriate sized aquarium, 40 gallons at least. Appropriate food, dry and frozen. Fair decor. Honestly, you don't have to buy decor. If you do, you want nothing sharp, nothing that they can hurt themselves on. If a goldfish can hurt themselves on something, they will. They are wild. They swim around like madmen. Water conditioner, filter, water test kit, full spectrum lighting. That's optional but enjoyable. Net, yeah, no, you do need a net. Thermometer. Freshwater substrate, correct. Sand or large pond stones. Actually, you can do a bare bottom tank with goldfish too. I like sand. It really, really, really helps the stability of my tanks. But a lot of people do bare bottoms, and that's fine. Air stone, air lighting tubing, air pump. So I agree with all of that except the air stone. I believe in just getting a sponge filter like that. That's going to give just as much surface agitation as a, air stone would. And it's also providing a place for good bacteria to live and for the water to get filtered. So I would just get a sponge, and I don't know. I don't dislike the look of sponge filters. I guess some people really, really do. And then it says a book about goldfish or koi. Honestly, I would just say, and then go and find online resources, because I have not found a book about goldfish and koi, at least available at Petco, ever. Ever. So yeah, I'm gonna give this a 2. Okay, I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5. Because it was bad. It was bad. I don't think it would have kept my buddies alive. But they did stress a couple of important things about how big they get. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for sitting through it with me. If you've gotten this far, please like and subscribe. I am really hoping to grow my channel so that I can start getting into some more serious rescue projects, some more serious, like getting ponds built for rescue goldfish and stuff like that. And the more attention I can get on my channel helps me build towards that. So please like and subscribe, and love your pets. And they will love you back, especially if you get more info about taking care of them than this. This is not enough information on koi and goldfish.